Alright, let's talk attachments. This is all about subbies. This is going to be these attachments I recommend for all weapons. I mean, there could be a little bit of variation, but we're mainly going to talk MSMC and Scorpion. Okay, so for basically all subbies in the class, Reflex Sight is a waste of time. You just don't need it. The subbies iron sights are too clean. I recommend it for most ARs, for range kills, but you just don't need it in some machine guns. Okay, laser sight, that's banned, so we don't need to worry about it. Suppressor, I know the suppressor doesn't actually detract that much from your damage. What it does is it lessens the range, so I'd probably recommend the suppressor on the MSMC, not so much the Scorpion, because you really need that range as is, but the suppressor, like I said, it will decrease the amount of damage you will do over range rather than your total damage, which I believe is a little bit different to past Call of Duties. Fast mag, this is the attachment that I have on my gun. This is one of the two attachments I use. I definitely recommend this. It's better than extended mags because extended mags doesn't give you many more bullets to work with. I'd rather have a fresh clip of 30 something rounds than probably 8 more bullets. Yeah, 8 more bullets is nice, but I can bob behind cover real quick, reload, and back out ready to fight with a full mag. EOTech sight, which is a holographic, falls in the same category as a reflex, wouldn't bother. Foregrip, I don't feel like I need it on the submachine guns. Maybe the Scorpion a little bit, just to give you a little bit more accuracy over range, just to dampen that recoil so you can make sure every shot counts. That's probably like I would put this as a third attachment on my Scorpion maybe, or if you don't want to use stock, which is what I use, but we'll get to that in a sec, you can try that on the Scorpion. Quick draw, probably, I don't know, I know Para likes it, but I feel like it's just a waste. You don't need to aim in fast with the subbies, especially with the hip fire you have. FMJ, yes it does do extra damage through walls, but I don't find myself really bothering to shoot through walls that often with a submachine gun. And if I do have to shoot through a wall, I'm just going to bang it anyway. I feel like you could be using a better attachment elsewhere rather than the FMJ. Okay, long barrel is something that a lot of people talk about. It's essentially the equivalent of range from Modern Warfare 3. Now, in Modern Warfare 3, range added a 25% bonus to your damage. So what it did is, so say your gun was doing 40 damage over a 50 meter range. So all that's going to do is it's going to extend that 40 damage out another 25%, which is 12.5 extra meters. So you're going to do your 40 damage at 62.5 meters. In this game, they've sort of nerfed that a little bit. The long barrel, I believe, is a 15% increase in range, which isn't all that much considering sort of a lot of the battles in this game are sort of submachine gun range as is. Maybe use a long barrel on some longer maps like Plaza. Maybe if you're playing the middle ground, I would suggest it. I feel like it's got a time and a place, and it's akin to using sort of how in Modern Warfare 2, if you would playing Demolition on Scrapyard, you'd use FMJ on that map on the UMP, just because it was so boss and there was so many like walls and things to be banged. But you probably wouldn't run FMJ on one of the larger maps per se, maybe like High Rise, where there's not a lot of things to bang and everything's made of paper. Anyway, Target Finder, banned, stock. This is the other attachment that I would suggest. So this goes hand in hand with just about any submachine gun. What it does is it allows you to walk around aim down sights at walking speed. Now I find this really useful in the game because you don't need dead silence, but in Search and Destroy you can still be heard. But the walking sound of your ADS, I don't know if it's silent, but I know it's a lot quieter than sprinting around. So I like to have my gun up and at the ready. So for S&D, this is pretty fantastic. I walk around, I can clear buildings a little bit more quietly, and I can be prepared for gunfights a little bit more easily. Also, this game's strafing is a big deal. You can dodge a lot of bullets with strafe, and I find that from Modern Warfare 3, when I tested Stalker out, which is the equivalent of stock, you could strafe around, and people are just bad at aiming in this game. Seriously. They can't keep up with you when you're strafing. I suggest stock. Seriously, put it on, give it a go. You may not like it. I know a few people that don't, but I feel like this is the attachment that makes submachine gunning, pulling flags, playing Search and Destroy, it makes it just that little bit easier. I feel like I'm probably going to dedicate another episode completely to stock, otherwise I'm going to rant and rave on about how good it is for forever. Extended mag, like I said, not necessary. We'll go down to select fire. I've tried it. It does change, I believe it changes recoil and rate of fire on some guns. I'm not sure why you'd want to use it on a subby. I mean, I tried it in a couple of public games for this, but it keeps the MSMC as a 3 bullet kill range, but the gun's better automatic, honestly. Rapid fire, I believe that's banned, but I don't use it anyway, even if you're playing pub, it's not the same. It greatly nerfs the 3 bullet kill range, or the minimum bullet kill range. Don't touch it, please. MMS, I don't even think it's that good. It's still banned anyway, though. So that covers the attachments to submachine guns. For the Scorpion, really quickly, I would suggest using the fast mag in stock again. Although grip and long barrel, I would recommend, if you can spare a slot on one of your classes for primary gunfighter, maybe then put on the 3 attachments, throw in the grip, throw in something like that. But once again, this is sort of why I like the MSMC, because you don't need those other attachments. You can just use the bare minimum and it will work with what you've got.